Hi, this is Steve with the Triangle 51 Ranch. If you have been following my videos, you have become somewhat familiar with Ember. If this is your first time watching my videos, then I'll briefly bring you up to date on her. Ember is a 2-year-old thoroughbred filly whom I'm preparing to start under saddle in late May or early June. As part of this preparation, I would like her to hook onto me with confidence. What do I mean by hooking on? I think of hooking on as when a person approaches a horse, the horse responds by turning their attention and focus onto the human, even to the point of stepping towards them. I've heard people refer to this as joining up, learning to catch, and hooking on. I don't know if all these phrases are meant to mean the same thing as I mean when I say hooking on, but they're close to the same concept. At the end of this session, I would like Ember to be hooking on to me from both sides. She should also be started on the concept of switching sides with me behind her. This is close to what she'll experience under saddle. This can sometimes scare a horse, and I want her to know the feeling before I'm on her back. This is also further training on focusing on the human. While we've worked on this standing in front of her with the halter on, drawing her focus back by gently bumping the halter, this time we'll try and bring her focus back with a gesture. This is a long video because I wanted the viewers to see the whole process. Some may think what is going on is that I'm wearing the horse out until they do what I want. That could not be further from the truth. As I said, Ember is a 2-year-old thoroughbred. I'm well into the youth of old age. Who do you think is going to wear out first? This works through a combination of concepts: pressure and release, make the wrong thing difficult and the right thing easy, and then feel timing and balance. I borrowed my wife's phone/camera so that I'd have 2 cameras videoing this session. I still couldn't cover the entire round pen, especially the area between the cameras. I tried to give the audience the best view of the process by switching cameras to the best position as Ember and I moved around the round pen. Hopefully this works so that you, the viewer, understand what is happening. Again, this is a long video. I'll try to convey key points throughout, but there will be periods of time where I'm just repeating the same movements and cues over and over. That is how you teach concepts to a horse. For us humans, it becomes redundant. When this is happening, I'll just play some music to fill in the audio. As you just saw, the first thing I do is get organized by sorting my coils. Ember has tuned me out. My reaction to being tuned out will be, if you tune me out, then just leave. For me, this process is always a way to learn about the horse I'm with and to learn about how horses in general react. I'm kind of experimenting right here at the beginning just to see what will happen. I just built this round pen last year, and this is the first time I've tried this in this round pen. I'm trying to see how things will go if I try and use only half the round pen. I have a secondary goal in this process. That goal is to get Ember used to ropes flying around her. I will eventually start roping her, but not in this video. I blocked her and she stopped moving and looked at me. You couldn't see me, but I took a step back to bring the pressure off her. She then looked away, so I started walking towards her, putting pressure on her. She looked at me again, so I stopped and backed away, relieving some of the pressure. She looked away again and began to tune me out. I was thinking, if you're going to tune me out, then leave, and threw the rope. She decided to stay and looked at me again, so again I relieved the pressure by backing up. She turned away again, so I put pressure on her by walking towards her. I couldn't throw the rope again because I was still coiling it. I also decided I was just too slow with the rope to cut the round pen in half and decided to use the whole round pen. Just my luck, and hit the camera with the rope. Again, I randomly throw the rope at her just to desensitize her to the rope flying at her. backed towards her path to get her to either look at me or turn, whichever she needed to do. She did neither, so I encouraged her to leave by throwing the rope again. This time, I backed towards her path, still trying to get her to look at me, or at least turn by turning towards the center. If she had looked at me or turned into the center rather than to the outside, I might have responded by backing away from her. Instead, I threw the rope in front of her to tell her that was the wrong choice. This time, when I backed into her path, she stopped and looked at me. I told her that was a good choice by backing up and relieving the pressure. That makes the right thing easy. When she looked away, I again put pressure on her by walking towards her and then throwing the rope. One of the things to note here is that when she's going to the left, her shoulder is pushing out towards me more than when she's going to the right. This is a defensive gesture. She's putting pressure on me. kind of experimenting here to see if I can get her to step towards me. I use the gesture, "come here," because that is what is most natural for me. Other people use other gestures. This is what works for me. I let her stand as long as she's looking at me with both eyes. When she looks away, I again make the "come here" gesture as I step forward, putting pressure on her. When she looks back at me, I back up, releasing some of the pressure. Pressure and release. When she looked away again, I said, "then just leave." I stepped into her path and she turned into me. I began to back up. That was good, except she kept going. She didn't stop and look at me. So I said, "wrong choice," by moving toward her and slapping the rope on my leg. The longer we just stand, the better she understands that I want her attention on me. I step over to the side to see if she'll follow me with her eyes. She does for a few seconds and then looks away, so I say, then just leave. If you haven't noticed, she seems more comfortable with me on her right side. As she's traveling to her left and I step in her path, she turns so that I'm on her right and then faces me. I'll work on this, just not yet. Another thing to notice is that she seems to find a spot to turn to me at and then uses that spot over and over again. I'll accept that for now because it makes it easier for her. Remember, make the right thing easy. Also, I want to reiterate that my goal is to get her to start hooking on, not to lunge. I'm not a big fan of lunging unless there's a specific purpose to it. My experiment to see if she would turn and follow me with her eyes from a distance was not working, so I decided to try something different. I decided to come up close to her and pet her. Notice that as I approach her, my body language is different than when I want to put pressure on her by moving towards her. I pet her a few times and then she turns away from me and I say, then just leave. When she looks away, I make the come here gesture and she turns her eyes back on me, but not for long. We repeat this a number of times and she decides she better leave and I encourage it. Here, after all this time, I get a really good change. She decides to follow me. I move sideways so that she has to turn her head to keep both eyes on me. So as I move away, it is easier to step forward and straighten out than to turn her neck. Make the right thing easy. I move back to draw her in. It's when I move to the left side that I lose her. She seems to be having trouble changing eyes. That time I lost her from the right side. this point, I decided to work on the problem of her not coming in on the left side. To do this, I needed to keep her going to the left. She kept trying to change directions. I wouldn't let her. And then I hit the other camera with the rope. Actually, it was the corral panel right next to the camera, but it jiggled the camera so things looked tilted. As you can see, she is starting to consistently go to the left. She is also not pushing her shoulder in towards me like she was doing before. This is a nice change. Now when I stepped into her path, she stopped and faced me to the left. I believe this is the first time she's done this. It is time to teach her to change eyes from behind. When I'll be riding her, I'll be changing eyes to her from behind her head. I want her to get used to this from the ground, so it'll be less likely to startle her when in the saddle. First, I push her eye away from me and try to get her to turn with her back to me, then hook on from the other eye. I'm drawing her in from further and further away. I sway back and forth so that we're starting to come in straighter. Crouching like that adds more pressure. Predators crouch just before they pounce. We've seen Ember give us some nice changes today. This by no means completes the process. I'll be working on this for weeks to come. When in the horse corral, I'll ask her to hook on, then leave her be. I'll keep reinforcing the concept. Then when she's out grazing, I'll again have to reinforce it all over again. They see those wide open spaces and think, I can outrun this old man. They can, but with persistence, constantly pressuring them, they begin to come around that this old man doesn't give up and is easier just to hook on no matter what. It's a lot of work, but in the end, well worth it. It is the horse choosing to be with you. If you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe and click the notification bell. Leave a comment if you want to add something or have a question or correction. If you know someone who you think would find this video interesting, please share it with them. Thank you for watching.